So I want to give you an introduction to Module 4. Actually, Modules 4 and 5 are really kind of focusing in on vocabulary. So Module 4 is kind of our heady one. You do a lot of reading about theories, but these are theories that really have some very strong implications for practice. So what you learn about the theory is something that you can apply. And then Module 5, we actually get into, we focus in on organizing instruction, and that is when you will do your video that you'll attach to your teaching journal. So anyway, Module 4, it starts on Monday, and it looks like this. You're going to come in, and the launch question is due on Monday the 16th. Really asking you to think about how you learn new vocabulary, and the way that this is introduced through both the module and then some of the readings is really that vocabulary is not just a word and a definition, it really is a concept. And it's kind of interrelated with other concepts. So thinking about it a little differently, perhaps. The Explore, I have my notes, which I have here. It really tries to, again, I introduce you to the 3 theories. You have readings for each one of those theories. The first theory you actually are familiar with, which is Bruner's theory of representation, how concepts are represented in our own individual cognitive structures, and the whole idea of conceptual networks. Then the second, that's Bruner, the second theory that is again focused on children who are deaf and hard of hearing and learning vocabulary is called the knowledge theory. And Peter Paul, you've already read some work, a couple of chapters I think were by Peter Paul so far in the language class. And so the knowledge theory and the model that actually puts the knowledge theory into practice is called cornerstones. And so you'll look at some materials and you'll look at some ideas about cornerstones as a practical application of the knowledge model. And then theory 3 is Yang it's his theory of second language learning and how second language learners do accumulate and understand vocabulary. And so the article that you're going to read is taking Yang's theory and really applying it to language learning in deaf children, and in particular vocabulary word learning. So this is a really good theory, again, that gives us some very specific ways that we can apply it to practice. But what you're doing in Module 4 is really learning about these theories. So you're going to do some reading in the first week, and in the second week, some application to a video, a movie. So this is not what I would, this is sort of our breather too. It's sort of a way to do some readings, to have some discussion, to learn about some theories, to apply them in terms of not to our students, but to kind of honing in on our own thinking. And then Module 5 is when we will really get into the application to our students. So again, it's kind of a breather. We're in the middle. We're in Module 4, and we have Module 7. So we're kind of in the center, and so hopefully it'll be, with everything else that's going on, this might be an easier module to actually manage. So this is, we'll have Amy's notes, and go back. You do have a you have reading by Paul. Looking at bilingual, that's Yang is our bilingual model, and then Bruner's theory that you would remember. The other piece that's really, this is kind of neat, Shireen Antia, who is working at the University of Arizona, she has developed a vocabulary intervention called Vocabulary for Success, and so I have, for deaf children, and so I have that information. Hopefully it's really for younger children, and it might be something that those of you who are working with young children might be able to implement, but we're going to look at her model and see how some of the ideas in these theories really come out in the way that she's organized this intervention. To summarize, you are working with your groups, and there are specific questions for you to answer on the discussion board, and so that's that is what you're going to do for the first week. And then apply is, again, you're going to look at a video clip of Helen Keller. It's an old movie. If you haven't seen it, it might be interesting for you, but there's this one scene where Helen all of a sudden gets it, and so I want you to think about how these theories kind of apply to that scene, with what's real, what isn't real, what questions you kind of come away with in terms of her ability to begin to link concepts with language. So, and that is due, a summary of your 4 questions is due in the second week as the apply. So that's Module 4. And hopefully then Module 5 will really get down to planning, using these theories to plan, to teach vocabulary to our students. So anyway, any questions, let me know. Hope you have a good week.